instead of listening to God's word, too many of us have resisted God's word. And if you are a believer, your heart will always be unsettled if your eyes are reading one thing and your heart is reading and desiring something else. You will always be unsettled if your eyes are reading the word, but your heart is desiring something that's not in the word. That's an important moment of your life, to understand that. And so look at verse 22. It says, but be doers of the word and not hearers only. And so, look, the danger for us is that this can so easily be us. Like, I've had to wrestle with that in my own self lately, right? Where are the moments or the points in my life that, like, that if I'm not this, then I'm that. Like, if I'm not pursuing holiness, then I am actively pursuing wickedness. If I'm not allowed God to mold me in this way, then I'm actively pursuing something else. This is talking to us in our moments that we begin to tune all this out, because you undoubtedly have heard, if I know, then I do. You've probably heard the passages that we're going through today. Some of you know maybe what I'm going to even say. Like, we've been to more Bible studies than we can count. Like, we absorb and consume the word really, really well as a culture of people. Like, we become like Slimer from Ghostbusters, that all he does is sit there and shoves things in his mouth, and it goes in and out, and what comes out is not always what came in. And that can be us. We're always consuming. And so what James is getting at is that there are a people that, like, they know, just like them now, who James is writing to. He's writing to people like us who know what the word says, but we don't always do. Right? And so if you look at verse 22, like, you can actually deceive yourself. I need you all to hear this. Like, if you come and you sit and you just listen and you absorb and you do nothing with this word and what you know, James tells you you're deceiving yourself. You're honestly experiencing, I'm going to say, half a religion by simply hearing but not living. Is that not the point of learning and to know? Is to then spur your heart on to do something about it? I mean, I love this because I just wonder sometimes, like, how different are we really from the people that he was writing this to? And to put it into modern vernacular, this is James ultimately telling us talk is cheap. I don't care what you tell me. I care about what you show me. Holding off on words for so long is only so good for so long. Right? What you tell me, if you tell me watch this hand, but you're smacking me with this hand, it's not going to work very well. And so talk is cheap. And look, we're a society that in many areas you have been promised much, but much is yet to be delivered. I was talking to the worship team back before service started, and we're like, the reality is we live in a culture that everything's a preferential to you. You get personalized ads on every social media you have. Some of you guys feel like Google's spying on you because you type in one thing, next thing you start seeing ads about it, and you're like, Everything's personalized to you. Your system settings, your system preferences. You want it your way. I mean, even fast foods condition us to get it our way. Half the time they get it wrong, but that's okay. And I think about the question, being a pastor in some way, shape, or form for the past 16 so years of my life, I have to come to the question, and I've asked when I used to be a youth pastor, I would ask my students this: are we simply a glorified book club? Are we a glorified group of people who come together and we just talk and we just inundate and we talk and we dissect, and I just wonder that sometimes. Like, we come and we listen and discuss and do nothing of substance with all the truths that have been put before us. And so my question is, like, when we come here on Sundays, is if all we do is hear and leave with an unchanged heart and an unchanged mind in our unchanged ways, I'm going to quote Francis Chan here, we do the work of Satan for him.